In this video, our goal is to be able to say that I can find the percent of a number using proportions. Now, in this first part of the video, we're going to be concentrating on this proportion right here, and that is the is over of equals percent over 100 proportion. Now, in this example, we have what is 75% of 103. Now, in this example, we could also use the decimal method, which means we're turning 75% into a decimal. And the way that we do that is we divide 75 by 100 to give us 0.75. And we would multiply 0.75 times our subtotal, 103. And if I check my work over here, 103 times 0.75, that gives me 77.25. Now, this only works because we have our percentage and we also have our subtotal. That is the only reason that this example works. Now, if I wanted to solve this using a proportion, I would have to use the is over of equals percent over 100 method. So how I'm going to solve this is I'm first going to set up a blank proportion, and I'm going to put 100 on the bottom right over here. And this bottom right-hand side will always be 100. In the top, right above 100, I'm going to put the percentage that we have, which in this example is 75. And you're going to see here that we have to fill in the is and the of portions of our proportion. So right here it says, what is 75% of 103? So I know this of section right here, my of is going to be 103. And because I don't know what is, I'm going to leave it as a variable x. And this is where I'm going to solve my proportion using scale factor. So I'm always going to draw my arrows towards my x so I know which direction we have to find our scale factor. Now, many people were asking me, well, how do I know how to set up my equation? Now, you're going to see right here we have 100 times the scale factor equals 103. And that's because we're starting off at 100, and I'm trying to find this number, in this case it's s, this number right here. How do I multiply 100 by a number to get 103? That's why I'm going to use this equation. I'm going to divide both sides by 100 to solve for s, and I'm going to get that s is equal to, and I don't even need a calculator here, because I can simply just move my decimal over twice. Once, twice is 1.03. So I'm going to multiply 1.03 on my numerator and my denominator. And if I check my work, 75 times 1.03, that gives me 77, again, x is equal to 77.25. Now in this next example, I have 19 is what percent of 88? Now you can tell pretty quickly that I won't be able to use the percent to decimal method because I don't have a percentage. I do have my subtotal here, but I don't have my percentage. So in this example, what I'll be doing is I'll be using the is over of equals percent over 100 method. I'm going to fill in what I can. As always, my 100 is at the bottom. I don't know what my percent is. Here it even says what percent. So I'm going to label this as my missing variable x. It shows that 19 is, over here my numerator, 19 is what percent of 88. So of 88, that means this is going to go in the bottom. And now I can start solving for my missing variable x. So I always know that my arrows go this direction. So I know that my scale factor will need to be found with this equation. 88 times my scale factor equals 100, because I know I have to multiply 88 by something to get 100. I divide both sides by 88. And in this case, I'm going to see that I get a very strange scale factor. 100 divided by 88 equals, and you're going to get this long, crazy number. So s equals 1.136. And if you notice, it keeps repeating. So I'm just going to put the repeating symbol over the 3 and the 6. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by this scale factor. Now, the trick is, on your calculator, you want to make sure that you directly multiply this number by 19, or else you might get something that's a little bit off. So I'm going to multiply this number by 19, and that's going to give me, I'm going to round this one, that x is equal to 21.59%. All right, this one I can round. In our next example, we have that 18.4 is 40% of what number? Now, in this example, I have a percentage, and I have a number value, but this isn't my subtotal, so I can't use the decimal method here. So I'll have to use the is over of equals percent over 100 method. So in here, I'm going to set up a blank proportion. I always know 100 goes on my bottom right. So I see this 40%. I can kind of add that here because I'm looking for my percentage right up here. And we have 18.4 is, that'll go in my numerator, 40% of what number? We don't know what that number is, so we're going to replace it with a variable. We're going to solve for our scale factor. We always draw towards our variable. And so in this example, I'll have 40 times s equals 18.4. I divide by 40 on both sides so that I can isolate my s. And I'll have 18.4 divided by 40, and that gives me a scale factor of 46 hundredths, or 0.46. So what I'll do is I'll multiply top and bottom by 0.46, and I'll multiply that by 100, and I really don't need to multiply by 100 on a calculator. I should know that this is 46, because all I have to do is move my decimal twice. So I see that 18.4 is 40% of 46. So x is equal to 46. I hope you've reached your goal of finding a percent of a number using proportions, using this method. In our next video, we're actually going to solve using the part to whole proportions. If you have any questions, please feel free to email. Thank you very much.